good morning. So, I've had a lot of friends who are pursuing careers in medicine, and I see them struggle. I see them study hard. But then again, I think there's always this bigger purpose, which is what they're striving towards. But today's guest specifically had to make a decision between deciding to pursue in medicine or go towards entrepreneurship. And in the end, he decided to pursue something specifically in entrepreneurship, and after which he founded his own business. Let's welcome Raza on 10 Minutes of Hiding Wisdom, where he will tell us about why he made a specific pivot, how his journey has been so far, and whether his company is hiding or not. Hi, Raza. How are you doing today?
Hi, Manal. Doing good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for joining
Thanks
us,
for having
Raza.
me.
So, okay,
Sure.
of course, thank you so much. I mean, I'd love to hear about your journey, how, as in, like, your path is something that's not very traditional. So, can you tell us about how your journey has been? What made you decide that you wanted to pursue entrepreneurship? How has your journey been?
As you mentioned, I'm in medicine. I was actually in my postdoc at plastic surgery. I was getting prepared for starting my residency, and so I was at the point that I had this option to, going into a 6 year residency and then starting for, probably another few years for, subspecialty. And I was always dreaming of entrepreneurship because I have a family that are half entrepreneurs, half doctors. And so I chose medicine at the beginning, but I always had this entrepreneurial drive inside me. And then I was like, okay, there is absolutely zero chance that I would start residency and do some entrepreneurial actions as a side action. And I talked to my professor, and they said, "Oh, there's absolutely zero chance that you can be able to do that." And I was like, "Okay, then goodbye, medicine. I like you so much. I've been doing a lot for medicine for being a doctor, but there is something that drives me more crazy, and that is medicine. I love that is entrepreneurship. And I love entrepreneurship. So yeah, that's how I chose it.
Oh wow. So what was your family's reaction? Were they like, "Oh, yes," or were they like, "You just left a good career to go towards something that you don't really know would provide you results?" What was their reaction? Were they over the fence?
No, my family reaction was funny. My mom still cannot accept it. Still, she's telling me that you lied to me. You said I'm gonna become a phenomenal surgeon, and now you say I want to become a big entrepreneur. It's like they can't accept it. My mom especially, but the other ones kind of get along with it. Got along with it.
I think moms are usually the ones that take a lot of time to wrap their head around new ideas. So I can definitely see why she was like, "Oh, I'm," as in, like, "You lied to me and everything." So I can completely understand that. But as a there was this risk that was involved when you actually pivoted towards a career that you did not know would actually lead to success. How, according to you, what makes an entrepreneur successful at the end of the day, knowing goes into a journey not knowing what the results would be?
If I would say two words are connected to entrepreneurship, are risk taking, being a risk taker, and then the other one is being a problem solver. So if you have these two as a part of your personality and character, then you can be a good entrepreneur. Your lack of knowledge, your lack of experience, all are gonna get solved. You should be an all day, everyday learner, avid learner. But if these two are not a part of your personality, you probably are gonna have harder job to become a successful entrepreneur. So for me, it was all about taking a risk. So I gave up medicine without having any any mentality of what I'm gonna do as an entrepreneur. Just wanted to do something that I could help more people and solve more number of problems. So with that being said, I got into starting my career as an e-commerce seller, and then I figured the problems that online sellers had, and then I started making a company that was built around solving the problem. And then I found a bigger problem, which was our online environment, which is very, uh, I can say, getting manipulated by fake review providers, where we are buying diaper for our baby, where we are buying important stuff that we need for our everyday life, and we receive reviews that are supposed to be equally to word of mouth. But at the end of the day, we see that, oh, they are manipulated so heavily that we buy a 5-star product and we receive at home is junk. So we should there should be fine there should be a better way. So that's how Ravioli got into life, to become the de facto certifier of product performance, whereby an emerging product, where when it is rated by Ravioli, I as a user, because I trust Ravioli so much, I would trust on Ravioli's reviews because I know they are authentic, I know they are descriptive, they talk about attributes of the product much more than the reviews that are on that retailer, that the store, that shop, which we saw a lot. I mean, I know it's too much talking, but there was a
No,
there
no,
was a
I'm
trimmer
loving it.
I saw on Instagram. It had 11,000 reviews, 4.9 star, 11,000, 11,900 something, and it was like beautiful videos and stuff. I was like, okay, I have trimmer, but I will get it. It looks crazy, and I am in this industry for years, and I was like, okay, I will get it. I was very excited. The product came, it was absolute junk. And I went to the reviews again. I found that ad, and I went to the reviews. There was zero review which are 1, 2, or 3 star. They were all 4 and 5, and like especially 5. And I was the first person who left a 1 star review, and I described why it is 1 star review. 2 weeks later, I went back to the website. My review was gone. There was no review. So there should be a better way that we can solve this problem, and that's why Ravioli is around.
Okay, well, I can definitely see because from what I had learned when I was studying business, there was a lot of people that said that a lot of companies leave good reviews for themselves. So when customers are actually buying products and everything, they come across only those positive reviews, and the negative reviews are often filtered out. So it's good to see that companies, specifically Ravioli, is focusing on actually providing both the good and bad reviews to customers, and it can be a reliable source of information because at the end of the day, word of mouth is something that's very important, and you're more likely to buy something when you know that it's much more credible, it's much more reliable. So good job in identifying that problem, and I can definitely see your risk taking and your problem solving skills coming into play here. And that brings me to my next question, Raza. So your company has been growing. What kind of roles are open? What people are you wanting to join your company? And how are you making sure that you can actually hire the right people for your company?
Exactly. I mean, the hiring is probably, I mean, team is the most important part of every company. I mean, whoever that says anything else is joke. Team is the most important way to succeed. And uh, for me, I mean, first, your first question, we have actually job openings now. We are looking for a director of marketing for B2C part. We are having opening for data scientists, for developers, for back end, front end, UX, UI, experience. And besides those, now backing back to your second question, what matters for us? I mean, I don't see we are different from others, and I think that the rules are pretty much the same. And but for us, if I want to say what my method is, so I would kind of say that the process of hiring uh, is it's composed of two sections. One is the have tos, as a as a job seeker, what I have to do if I want to go to that meeting, and one is what is better for me to get done. For example, for me, uh, as a recruiter, and myself, another hat that I wear is being a recruiter. So as a recruiter, for me, the have tos are being professionally dressed in the meeting, being on time in the meeting, like not late even 1 minute, because this is your first impression, right? You want to make sure your first impression is perfect. And of course, the other thing is being energetic in the meeting, so you can you can transfer your inside feeling to that person, because it's at the end of the day, everything is personal, everything is about networking, everything is about influencing the other side of the table. And so these are the stuff that are prerequisites. But then there are some parts that for me in a specific matters so much. I mean, what I believe is that I should personally have a conversation with our candidate, regardless if that person is a C level or VP or is our customer service rep. I should talk to everybody. I should make sure that that person has our culture, can agree with our culture. So we have, every company has its own culture, and it's important, if you ask me, that you as a job seeker would go study that company before going to the interview. Just deep dive into their website, try to talk to some people, try to check out their LinkedIn page, try to check out their, the different people inside that company, and see what kind of attitude they have on their posts, on their social media, so on and so forth. It will give you information. You want to always be you want to be a sponge on collecting as much information as possible, and then you get the
Okay.
culture, and
Go ahead.
boom, everything else is going to be easy. Nothing matters after that.
That's true. I think organizational fit specifically is something that's so important these days because sometimes you might hire someone and then they're like, I just don't fit in. So, understanding what the company stands for, their purpose, their mission, their values are so important because you need to embody those values, those purpose, those missions in order to actually put more hard work into the company because you truly believe in it. So, thank you so
Absolutely.
much for sharing that, Raza. But as a that is all for today. It was an absolute pleasure having you as a guest, learning about your journey, learning about how you pivoted and managed to be a successful entrepreneur. You are definitely an inspiration for those out there who are struggling and who might be scared to take that step. So thank you so much for coming on the
It was
show and
great
sharing
being
about
here.
this
Thanks
journey
so
with
much for
us.
having me.